Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Tales of the Valiant CR Exposed. Today we are looking at the Young Black Dragon, a CR7 dragon, and we're going to see how this thing looks. You've probably seen the thumbnail, so hopefully it looks pretty cool. I haven't seen it yet because I haven't put it together. But before we get into deconstructing this CR for Tales of the Valiant, let's talk about the tool here. If you like what I'm doing here and you want to get your hands on this tool as well, you can go to the link in my description to my Ko-fi page where you too can make a clone, a copy of this Excel sheet for your very own, and use it to make awesomely balanced monsters for Tales of the Valiant. Now here's the thing, it's free. You can totally download this for free if you want, or you can donate if you feel so inclined to. As of right now, the average seems to be about like $5, which is totally cool. And I appreciate everyone that has donated thus far for the tools and my efforts and what have you. So I think with this video, I'm going to start, doing like a little shout out page at the end of the video. So if you've donated and you're watching this video, look for your name. You'll see it as like a one-off member here. Not necessarily a member, but a one-off Ko-fi supporter. So thank you to those who have supported so far. Also, if you'd like to see a particular monster from the Monster Vault reviewed, then leave a comment on this video or any of my other Monster Vault videos. Now, here's the fun part. This is going to be now known as Monster Vault 1 because just announced in the Kobold Press Discord, they have the Monster Vault 2 going to Kickstarter in, I think, December or maybe January of next year. So I'm already listed to back that so I can get the PDF as soon as it comes out. All right, now with the business out of the way, let's go ahead and start deconstructing this young black dragon and take a look to see how it works out. All right, so we got ourselves a CR7 here, and we are expecting it to have all of these traits here. So 3 proficiency bonus, 14 to 16 AC, 160 hit points before it's modified one way or the other, 68 attack bonus, 50 to 55 DPR, that's damage per round, and 14 to 16 DC, our save difficulty check. So with that, we are going to modify some stuff around here and see what we get. But before we start modifying, we're going to add in the proficiency modifiers. So looks like we have a 5 strength, 5 dex, 6 con, 1 intelligence, 4 wisdom, and a 5 charisma. Now, likely these are going to be some modifiers here, and we'll have to compare that to the attacks, because at the moment our attack bonus is an 8, and it's very unlikely that that's the actual case here. Let's see here. Our spell save DC is a 15 for our acidic vapors, so something is going to need to be changed a little bit here. We'll see what that is in just a moment. As for that, we do have, let's see here, 18 AC, so we're going to go ahead and modify that by 3, giving us 18. We do have a few speeds, but since nothing is under 30 feet per round, like oozes, we don't have to worry about modifying that. But if you did, you would want to come in here and modify the walking. So for instance, you'll see right now at the top there's only this one checked off. But if we were to switch this to 15 feet per round, then we would get this extra little bonus here, and this would give us more hit points. So we're going to go back to 30. We're going to leave that one as is, and we'll start moving on down the line here. Now we do have perception and stealth, which again, because we're not building a monster, we don't really need to worry about any of this stuff here. But we do have immunities for acid and poisoned condition. So we're going to come down and add in immunity to acid, which is going to trigger one of our negative modifiers. So when a monster only has 1, for some reason, it loses 5% hit points. If it's any more, then I guess some of the other ones start triggering to reduce it even further. But at base, if you have just 1, and that also stands for bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing, you get -5 right off the bat. And moving on, we will go ahead and add in our poisoned condition here, and we are immune to that. Now, only one condition here is not going to make much of a difference. If we had 3, then we would see another negative modifier here, but because we only have the 1, we don't have to worry about that. The tool will do the work for you, which is very nice, because I forget quite often. Then we also have senses and languages. That doesn't matter. Now, here's the fun thing. We're going to move into the monster's traits, and our black dragon here has something quite interesting, acidic vapors. After the dragon uses its breath, it basically gets an AoE that poisons anyone that is within 10 feet. So all melee will have to, you know, roll some con saves to protect against being poisoned. So, in essence, all of our attacks with the dragon, after we've used our breath weapon once, will then have the poison condition applied to their attacks. So we're going to add that in because right off the bat, we're more than likely going to use our acidic breath and then get that little bonus in for the attacks. So let's move on to the attacks, speaking of which, and start adding all this in for our young black dragon here. Now, we do have Amphibious, which this isn't going to make any kind of a difference here, but we do have a multi-attack of 1 bite and 2 claw attacks, which is perfectly fine. Then we're going to go ahead and start adding in our modifiers here. Now, let's take a quick look here. Our bite and our claw are +7 to attack, which means our strength is not the item here that we're looking for. What are we looking for, actually? +3, which means something's a little off here. Let me look at this for a second. Okay, so interestingly enough, now that I've had a moment to look at this, even though our attack bonus does indeed say 7, and we're seeing an 8 here because our strength modifier is a 5, we have a proficiency bonus of 3, we have an 8. That does fall within reason. The tool is technically off. Now, if we switch this to, let's say, Wisdom, then our attack bonus and our DC are falling into the correct ranges of DC 15 here and +7 to hit here. So it looks like our, yeah, that's the Black Dragon Wormling, and our strength and dex are indeed a 5. It looks like there may have been an error somewhere here. So I'm going to have to see about reporting that to Kobold Press to ask them which one is off. Is it the strength off, or is it the attack bonus is off? But in any event, we don't have to really worry about we don't have to really worry about the attack bonus here because it falls within the ranges that we're expecting, so that's not going to trigger anything. But we will start adding in dice. So we have the 2d10 here, and we are going to be adding in, it looks like +4. So because our strength is technically off, I'm just going to use Wisdom here to give us the appropriate amount of damage that the book is reporting. And then we have the Claw, which is going to also be a 2d6 plus our Wisdom bonus to give us that +4. Unless, like I said, unless it is using Wisdom for its attack bonus, which could be the case. I'll just swap that over just for the sake of things. We have the correct 11 points of damage here because we have even numbers of dice. And then lastly, we have the Acidic Breath. So our acidic breath is a 30-foot line, 5 feet wide. Each creature in that line makes a DC 15 dex save or takes a whole bunch of damage. So we're looking at 11d8 worth of damage, which is wild. We have 49.5 damage for one target. So we're going to go ahead and throw that into the multi-effects, and let's just double check the total here. Now, I believe this should be, because it says 30 feet or less. Let me take a look. Let's review the adult black dragon real quick for its breath attack. 60-foot line. Okay, so this is correct. So our our young black dragon here technically has a short-ranged breath weapon here. So we're going to go ahead and throw in the amount here, and we're going to click on the short range button, giving us a total of 73.5. Now, if we unclick the short range, we're basically getting double the amount here for 2 full failed saves. What the short range is doing is it's calculating 1 pass and 1 fail, I believe, to give us basically 1.5 the damage, or 1.5 times the amount here instead of 2 times the amount. And then we also have our attacks up here. We're doing the one here, and we're doing the other one here. Both of these attacks are technically getting... Oops, let me finish that off. Both of our attacks here are technically getting 1 condition for poisoned when the breath weapon has been used, and because it's a recharge of 5 to 6, technically all of our attacks should be getting the condition here. So what we are going to do, and as you see, there's really no difference. It's because the damage is so technically low that the small increase for a single condition, which is either 3 or 5%, isn't enough to trigger 1 point of damage. So then we move on to making our multi-attack here. And we're going to say it was what? We got 1 bite and 2 claws. So we're going to add that, and we're going to take that, multiply that by 2, and that gives us 37 points of damage. So then we're going to go ahead and for our rounds of combat, and we're going to apply the DPR for our breath weapon, and then 2 rounds of our multi-attack. And we have a total of 49 points of damage, which, surprisingly enough, is technically below the expected range for our dragon here. And that is also taking into consideration the poisoned effect from our acidic vapors. But the thing is that the game is set up so in case your monster isn't doing as much damage as it's expected, you'll get a bonus to our hit points. So if just for let's say we had 36, you'll see that the tool automatically adjusts and gives a bonus for every 2 points of damage the creature is dealing below the minimum of 50. We would get that little extra bonus. But because we're not, and we're just 1 shy, technically this falls within reason, plus or minus 1 technically. We don't get any bonus to our hit points here. And it looks like that is it. So let's review what we have for our negative conditions here. Our AC is 2 over the expected. So going back up here, we are supposed to have 14 to 16, but we are getting 2 more than normal. So we are losing 10%. We have 2 points over the maximum expected, which results in minus 10. So 2 times minus 5 is minus 10. And then we also have 1 point of immunity to the acid, which, may or may not show up if creatures or players are using acid, and that's going to add in an additional minus 5. So in total, we are losing minus 15 percentage hit points here to our dragon, and that is reducing us from 160 to 136, which is the case. We have 136 points of damage, or hit points here. So our CR7 Black Dragon is 100% accurate. And that is taking into consideration everything. So kudos to Kobold Press for giving us a perfectly balanced monster. Thank you so much to everyone that has taken the time to support me and the tool here. Again, if you'd like to support just like these people on the screen have been doing as well with one-offs, you can do the same at my Ko-fi page, where you can get the tool totally for free, or you can donate if you feel so inclined to. And until next time, I will see you guys in the next video.